Shirts and skins, let's get it. Yo. Shirts and skins and we back again. The best coverage in college sports, we come to win. With Brandon, Mark, and Matt, no one go hard as that. Share it with your folks and they'll learn where it all be at. It's just three of the guys, childhood friends that be setting the vibe with a few hot takes, jokes, and predictions. Love the Boise State, we now welcome you to listen. Shirts and skins, let's go.
Shirts and skins, let's go. Bronco Nation, what is up? Shirts and skins listeners, thank you for joining us. I am Matt Lamb. I'm back today. I was gone last episode. My apologies. I know a lot of fans out there were wondering what's up with
a lot.
Pretty much lost most of our subs. Gone.
I'm joined by Brandon Meinert. This guy to my right in the salmon colored hoodie. Would you say pinkish hue? And Mark Moss. How you doing, Mark?
I'm good. Happy to be here.
Happy to be here. Basketball season's wrapped up. Football season is in spring ball right now, spring practice, spring mode. But we do still have some exciting things to talk about. Also, one thing about our podcast, we posted something on Twitter.
Ooh. Oh, that's right.
Big news coming up. In a couple weeks, we'll be able to share that, but some exciting stuff for the Shirts and Skins podcast. Thank you for following us along on our journey. There's more to come. Exciting stuff. So stay tuned and
weird and wild stuff.
We'll announce that as it unfolds, but cool stuff. We've got some basketball transfers to talk about. We've got college football Super League talk. We got spring ball, a little Malachi Mad Dog.
What's Leon's new contract? Did he get a new contract or just extended?
No, it wasn't even extended. It was just in the contract. It was like year 3 of the contract, you get a little bump. So he got a little bump as of April 1st.
Leon's not leaving.
I can't imagine Leon's leaving right at this point.
Because Washington, dude, you want to know who's in a bad spot?
If Leon was leaving, don't you think we'd know?
I'm just saying. I mean,
he's saying that
chalked up
there's enough good there that he's gonna stay.
Yeah, and then there's Washington, dude. Did you see what's happening to Utah State?
It happened last year too, though. It happened last year too, and they won the league this year, though. Man,
wasn't
there's
Utah
something
State
magic
that
down
said
there.
like we have a valid chance of winning the national
their new head coach.
Their
new head coach came in, Utah State's head coach, and at his introductory press conference.
Who's the new head coach?
I don't know.
Is it somebody
Never heard
on
of the
staff?
guy. Never heard of the guy.
Okay.
No, he's like from Youngstown State or Appalachian State or somewhere over there. He wasn't in the tournament this year. I think he has a winning record.
He's optimistic.
Yeah, he kind of said, no, the goal here is to win the national championship, and that's what we're going to do.
Look at college sports.
Like, what are you talking about, dude?
He won't be there in 3 years. He's gone. He's gone. He's not there in 3 years.
No. He's either going to suck or he's going to be good and move on.
Osabor moved.
Yes.
Probably going to go to Washington.
That freshman Pavlov or Fazlev, something like that. Falslev.
Yeah.
Something like that. He actually retracted himself. Pavlov's dog. They rang a bell.
and he plays basketball.
He came back to Logan. So
he's back.
He's back. He probably didn't get the offers he was looking for.
They'll have a couple guys.
Well, their best point guard, I think, was this grad senior. I don't think he's coming back. Osabar's gone. But hey, I'm not going to sleep on Utah State until they show it. They're historically... Props to Utah State in the basketball arena because they've been a good program for a long time. Yeah. Can't necessarily won a lot of games in the tournament, but in the WAC and the Mountain West, I mean, they got pillaged. They lost their coach last year. We know what they did this year. So until that doesn't happen again, I'm not going to say they're going to be horrible.
This is just evidence our show could go any which way. I listed all these things, and we went Utah State basketball.
That's how we roll, man. That's how we roll.
It was like on online news platforms.
What?
There's just a platform that's kind of news based.
Okay.
X? Twitter?
Nah.
What are you talking about?
Nah.
Some of them.
Okay.
Nah. Sometimes you go on to them and you see these news updates and you know,
go anyway.
It could, I mean, I just was seeing Utah State stuff.
Oh.
Not that I was on it. People would send me.
Because you're not going to get on it anymore.
Oh, yeah. Brandon's off of said website.
I'm back
on.
Any listeners, send some tweets. Oh, you're back on.
Yeah.
He's going to say they should mention
How long did that last? How long did
Not very long.
afternoon?
You know, and to be honest, I wanted to get back on, and I justified getting back on by deleting all my political
That's a good call.
stuff like Travis said. Like Travis is like, oh, delete all that stuff. He was right. I did that.
Yeah.
And I'm much happier.
There you go. That's actually.
So is it mostly sports now?
Yeah. Yeah. And Elon Musk.
Sports and Elon Musk.
Yeah, I think he's interesting. And unusual whales, which is stock trading, insider trading. And what is it? The L one. What is it?
Libs of TikTok?
No.
Posting their L's or something like that?
Yeah.
Which one is
they
that?
call out people that like contradict themselves in their tweets.
It's so funny. That guy's so funny. Anyway, the Babylon BFL. Okay, I don't know why the heck we're talking about all this stuff.
Can we talk spring football?
Yeah. Let's go spring football.
Can we jump into that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Mark, what do you know? What have you heard?
You know, it's funny because this is one of the first years that because, of course, we're talking about football, but because basketball was so exciting, I have not even got into a lot of it until just now, right? As far as spring football. But we know that they had their first scrimmage yesterday. Mm-hmm. We know Genty didn't play. Smart call. We know Mad Dog did not play.
Another smart call.
Another smart call. He's still hurt. I don't know. Sounds like, Brandon and I were listening to Coach Danielson on the way over. Brandon, your opinion on Coach Danielson and the coach speak?
I think, and it's not just Danielson.
No.
Because
we love Danielson.
Is he working his tail off?
No.
There's a lot of iron sharpens iron.
Here's what I think is so dumb about all of these. It's not like these coaches are going to come out and be like, sorry, guys, we're going to be bad.
Yeah, it's not looking
We're
good.
the worst I've ever seen. It's
improvements in the DBs whatsoever.
If you bought season tickets,
Yeah. The reporters are like, tell me about X player. Oh, he's great. It's good to see him in practice. It's good to see him make plays. It's great. Well, tell me about this player. He's doing great.
He's awesome.
Everything's great, but we need to be great. To be great, we have to be great. Mm-hmm. And to be great, we're going to be great. And the coaches have to get us to that greatness. And it's like that over and over and over. And I'm just like, there's nothing of substance here.
Nothing.
Because really it doesn't. Anything they do from now until the first snap of the new season, to me, it makes no sense. Like,
it's going to be exciting. It's going to be great. It's going to be.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know how good they are. No one knows how good they are. You're going against ourselves. Our defensive backs were atrocious.
Yeah.
Last year. And they could be really great this year. I don't know. But it's like us beating up on us.
Well, Colt Fulton threw for over 100 yards. And a touchdown.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that guy until you just said his name.
He's the fourth-string lefty.
Yeah. And so it's like, I don't know the value. Like, I don't know.
He's the one that Tiller beat out in the battle to play in the LA Bowl.
Yes.
There was no real battle.
Yeah.
But
wait, didn't Tiller?
He was the second option.
Tiller beat,
he was the walk. He's walk.
Whatever. Again, we'll never see him play. I'm sure.
We should.
And so the thing is, I don't know the spring games, the spring practices, and then the fall camps. It's like, I don't know. I don't really buy into a lot of the hype until I start seeing them play because I just don't know how good they are. I am excited about the tight end Lautner.
Well,
I saw some stuff about him.
Well, that's what you can. To go off what you're just saying, I agree. The one thing you can glean a little bit from with these interviews with the coaches and the players is that you'll start hearing names like frequently because this year the Danielson, nice change. He's letting the media watch all the practices, not the scrimmages, but practices, like the whole thing, not just stretching like Avalos, but they can watch all practices. So then those guys, the BJ and those other guys, they'll ask players or coaches about so and so, and so the more you hear someone's name, you kind of get an idea and that that guy must be standing out. That's all we can glean from it, all of it. But to your point, Matt Lauder.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
yeah.
he started coming on really a lot last year, right? And we have been, I would say, subpar at developing tight ends over the past 10 years. Where we have great tight ends at the school. In fact, some even go on to play in the NFL.
Jake Rowe was awesome.
I know.
Jake Rowe.
Dude, yes. And then Bates is in the NFL
I
still.
know.
We used him we threw him the ball 4 times
and
a year, dude.
You're just like, that's not great. And so I want to see our tight ends be great again. They were great under Peterson. We had some incredible tight ends under Peterson. I think Harsin had 1 or 2 that were good, but then we just couldn't get him the ball, couldn't get him in space, couldn't get anything going to him. We were so one-dimensional for so long. And this is why I said I was excited. Matt, you missed it last time, but I'm so excited for the offense this year just because of Dirk. Did you see Chuck Pagano?
Yes.
Did a shout-out to Dirk on that one platform?
They're tight, but
yeah, he's got some ties to...
Yeah. Dude, Dirk could do so much for this program. I mean, come on.
We're so lucky.
We're so lucky.
Dude,
He's an
are you
NFL
bigger
head
on
coach.
Dirk or Bush?
Dirk.
At your height of bushness.
I have moved on from Bush. I don't.
No, but at the height.
At the height of Bush? No,
Like,
I'm already bigger on Dirk than I am on the height of Bush, dude.
Whoa.
Prettier. Okay.
Is he?
Prettier.
At his age, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Better shape.
Silver Fox,
More mature.
man.
More mature.
Absolutely more mature. More established. More money.
He probably
way more
likes
money,
golf
dude.
more than Bush.
Yeah. And so, yeah, dude, the guy's got it all.
He's won you over.
Absolutely. No, and the thing about Dirk is the attention he could bring from NFL connections. He could call up a buddy from the NFL and say, hey, could fly down and just talk to the guys or talk to my guys or just be here, just watch and just add some,
I know he has.
energy.
I know he had Prince. Of course, Prince's brother plays in the NFL, but Prince, they were talking about, he had Dirk got him set up with Godwin or one of the big receivers from the Buccaneers.
Wow.
So he had, and they had conversations.
Maurice Jones-Drew,
You
right?
can't get that
It's a huge. It's
you
just
can't get that from anybody else.
Look at
nobody else.
I think I said we have the best offensive coordinator in the Mount West. That's obvious.
in the whole country.
That's what I was going to
There's
say. That's what I was saying. I don't name me a better, more qualified, more distinguished offensive coordinator in the whole country.
There's not.
I don't think there is.
Certainly not Bush Hampton. Certainly not the Kentucky one.
You could say Chip Kelly at Ohio State, maybe, because he was,
He's NFL.
Yeah, they're up there.
NFL, all kind of same.
He feels a little like past his prime, though.
Chip
He
Kelly
does. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Everyone caught up. But Dirk, we are so lucky to have Dirk. And that's where it comes back to this year and this spring ball
here we
and
go.
prep and Mad
all
Dog
for
and
this
Malachi.
year.
It's a huge year.
All for this year.
We have Genty. We have Dirk. For this year only for sure. We don't know about next year as far as Dirk. We don't know if Genty gets hurt week 2, whatever.
That's why I think I'm excited for this season because Dirk can get tight ends the ball. He can get it. Looks like we have a stable of receivers that are pretty good. It looks like maybe Breezy and Genty can do some decent work on the running back side. Our offensive line,
I would say decent at least.
Yeah, our offensive
going to be decent.
Well, I'm just saying our offensive line, if they're returning most of the guys from last year, okay, great. Well, the only question mark is the single most important position on the whole offense. That's the only question mark that we have.
That's the quarterback.
Is the quarterback. That's it.
I thought you were going to go defensive.
Well, let's say
No, on the
offense for a
offensive
minute.
side. On the offensive side. The only question we have is a quarterback. And you know what? I don't mind Mad Dog. I'm just saying I don't mind him because he did good.
But should we, as fans, expect Mad Dog? I think we should, right?
Were Mad Dog? Yeah. So what were Mad Dog's stats?
On first, second, or on third? He didn't play on
stats.
on third down only.
Like being subbed in just for third.
That's a good point. It's really hard. Both those guys were in such a tough.
Hey, look at the Memphis game.
Such a tough spot last year.
UCF game.
UCF game. Memphis game. The whole time he was cooking. There was only one game he did poorly. In my opinion,
that Colorado State game was complete trash.
Yeah, and I don't know that you can lay that on the feet of Mad Dog.
No, you can't. You can't. No, I'm not bashing on Mad Dog. I'm not bashing on Mad Dog. I will say, if Mad Dog is our starter week 1,
I'm not worried.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm not worried.
I will also say this: Dirk doesn't care. Dirk doesn't care if Malachi is a 5-star. If he's going to play the best guy. So if it's Mad Dog, it's Mad Dog.
Yeah,
that's fine. But is Mad Dog? Couple things. If Mad Dog started week 1, something went wrong with Malachi. Yes. Yes. You brought Malachi Nelson in to be the starter.
I disagree, bro.
No. You brought... No.
Wait, who brought him in? Dirk didn't bring him in.
I know.
I get that you brought him in. I'm just saying, like...
You're telling... No, hold on. You're telling me that the number 1 recruit of the entire nation last year, if he's not starting at Boise State, then everything went well for him.
No, obviously not.
Something went wrong. Obviously not. That's what I'm saying.
Well, what went wrong? He just can't get out of his own head.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
Whatever it is.
Like he didn't do well at USC.
Yeah.
We didn't play.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like obviously it wasn't in line. He was the third string.
Yeah.
It wasn't in line.
He was injured. He was injured for a lot of the year.
Okay, it's like, who knows when these guys go to the next level after high school? Sometimes it's just flame out. And
it's fine. It's fine.
Not on anybody.
All I'm saying is I'm excited about this year too. If Mad Dog is the guy, then awesome. If he's developed over the 2.5 years he's been here and he's going to be all league, then great.
Yeah.
I have my doubts on whether Mad Dog Madsen is an all league player.
Yeah.
I do. I have my doubts. I don't know. We'll see.
Part of what we need is just a game manager. Get the ball to Genty.
So,
get the ball to the receivers. Get the ball to your guys.
Until our defense shows that they can do anything other than give
true.
up bombs over the top, we need a quarterback that can win a game.
Okay, but we have the pieces in place to win the game. So just get the ball to them.
True.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And Mad Dog shows, at least to me, that he could do that.
I think you're right. I didn't want to argue this argument. I'm just saying that Malachi was brought in here. Everyone's excited about Malachi. And, I mean, if Mad Dog's a starter, great. I trust the coaches on this one. I trust Dirk that he makes the right decision. But I also think that Malachi was brought in with the hopes that he would be the caliber of what we hope he is going to be.
Is Bronco Nation expecting Malachi to start?
You have to.
I think most Bronco Nation does. But listening to like BJ and Tust and all those guys, they're putting it slightly Mad Dog in front of Malachi at this moment.
See, that's crazy to me.
But he's only been here a couple weeks.
And he's injured.
Well, he's injured. I think that
why
still
were
in front?
Because Bolt was talking about Mad Dog in his interview. And like with Bronco Nation, he's like talking about Mad Dog. And you're like, why are we talking? He's injured. There's a guy. There's 3 good quarterbacks. Mad Dog's
They
over
must
there.
like him.
I think they really like him. I think they do. And if he ends up being the guy, great.
I like him.
Yeah, right. Great to you.
No,
You're-
I don't know. I just don't know if his, like you said, guys grow. Did he grow though?
What are you talking about? Grow?
Like
Oh.
height?
What are you talking about?
Maybe.
Grow.
Maybe. I don't know. I just don't know what his ceiling is. Is his ceiling?
Maybe we need to get him on the
And
pod. So
I
we can
wish-
Be friends
I'd
with
love
him.
Here's what I
Let's
wish.
talk to him. I'd love to have him on.
You know what? If
I don't know.
If Mad Dog wouldn't have gotten injured, Taylen may not be at Arkansas, number one. But
No, I think Taylen was out of here.
well,
he probably wouldn't have been
he
in
may not be
Arkansas.
at Arkansas.
That's a good point.
But I'm just saying it would have been awesome to see a Mad Dog in full strength against Malachi Nelson full strength
Well, we're gonna get that
all
this fall.
summer.
Yeah, he'll
You
be
know,
there. He'll be there.
Mad Dog won't be in there in the
yes,
summer.
he will, dude. They're saying he's got the
What
brace
even
off.
happened?
He's got the brace
Do
off.
we know what happened?
He had a surgery. It
Okay,
wasn't
no, but
ACL.
nobody will say
Deep
it.
knee
Yeah.
bruise.
An inner groin,
Upper
inner
leg
thigh
injury.
Yeah.
I think it was a knee surgery. My guess is it was a meniscus.
Okay.
That's my
Well,
guess.
anyway, let's say he's there all summer. I hope he is because I
Sounds
really
like he's
want.
close. Yes.
I really want him to push Malachi to be like, I'm going to take this spot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm going
That's
to
what
take
you
this
want.
spot.
Agreed.
And he's like, you can take my spot on first down. I'll be in.
He knows how to do that.
Don't do that.
Dude, if the first
So-
drive comes up,
No, it's
You
not
know what would be
happening.
awesome? You know what would be awesome if Dirk brings in Mad Dog. He's like, look, we're gonna have Malachi be our guy, and then Mad Dog's like, I get it. That's a bummer. What about third down? Can I get
Like,
third down,
what
or
about third down?
are we doing a second down thing?
We're gonna
Can I ask-
run to win.
Can I ask a question? That was low, dude. That was low.
How is your starting quarterback? We're gonna run to win.
Can I ask a question?
Thanks, Andy.
Can I ask?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, you can.
Is BSU incapable of developing a quarterback?
BSU or Dirk Cutter or
Dirk mention his name.
Well, he
Don't
is
you
Dirk
dare
Cutter right now.
Stop it.
We've had
Taylen Green's the starting quarterback for Arkansas
Oh,
without
yeah,
even
that-
trying.
We
So
developed him.
I do want to no we yeah,
Yes, we
jeez.
did.
Yeah, we gave him a starting
Okay.
quarterback.
Wait. Did
I-
we check? Is he only the third down starting quarterback, or what down is he? Because you have to
Wait, so
check that.
Is that in the roster that they put out?
well,
the
is
official,
it like an asterisk?
third down only,
I forgot we have not talked about that.
short yardage only?
So there's some people that have no idea what we're talking about. I guarantee it. Listen,
Yeah, Taylen Green.
has been named the starter for Arkansas
In a couple weeks.
in a few weeks in their spring
From January 1.
Yes.
Hold on. Did you guys see the video that the Arkansas
Yes.
beat
yes.
guy posted?
No.
Yeah. I saw that.
It wasn't horrible, but there were no highlights. It was 3 passes. One was broken up by the DB.
They both missed him. Nobody caught it.
Nobody caught the ball.
The
We've
guy-
seen this.
And that was the video he chose.
Well,
to
the guy
post.
was running an out, and he had to go up high, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. And then there was a deep ball that was overthrown, and I was like, okay. They must be struggling.
We're
going
going to come back to this topic in about circa
Can
November.
BSU develop quarterbacks? Because if Taylen Green goes on to be a world beater, it's us.
our
It's
fault.
not
It's us.
them. It's
well,
us.
hold on. Is it us or is it the combo of Bush and Andy?
Whoa. No,
That's-
but you can go back to a bunch. Ryan Finley, we didn't develop him very well.
He was only here a year.
No, dude, we did not. We've given up.
Dude,
on,
Rip took over for Finley and he left.
because Finley got hurt.
Yeah,
right?
but
and Rip is an NFL quarterback and Finley actually dropped out of the NFL. The Finley wasn't an issue. The issues have been Hank. He did not get developed. His best game
Everybody
ever
after
was his
Kellen
first
besides
game of his.
Rippon.
Yeah, the best game for Hank was his first game of his first year.
Best and only game.
Grant Hedrick's a police officer now.
Grant Hedrick, dude, I love that. Can we get him on the pod?
Let's get him on, dude.
Can we
I love
get him on
Grant.
the
He's
pod?
in Oregon,
Grant's
I think.
awesome.
Still,
Oh, we should get Grant. Yeah,
dude, he's literally
We'll get Grant.
top. He's
we know
probably
people
top
that know.
5 quarterback.
We know people that know him.
Do we?
Oh yeah. We'll get Grant.
I would love to have Grant.
Yeah, that would.
Dude,
that'd be
he's
awesome.
freaking awesome.
Let's back to your topic
Okay,
though.
I want to say something.
Go ahead. We have been bitten by the quarterback. Yes.
Can we do it?
Go ahead.
Like if
I
you're
don't know.
recruiting quarterbacks,
We've
from high
never had a quarterback drafted in the NFL draft. That's insane.
school, after Kellen Moore, Brett Rippon has been our most successful quarterback. Rightly so.
Yeah,
He's awesome.
he was good.
Brett Rippon's awesome. Okay. Southwick, Hedrick's great. I'm sorry, I
Hedrick
keep
had a good
forgetting.
year.
Didn't Kozart do some stuff in the Canadian League?
Kozart,
He's still playing.
He's still going, right?
Or
Yeah,
no,
but we didn't
Henderson's
develop
still
him.
playing.
Henderson.
Henderson's
Henderson.
still
but
playing.
we didn't develop either of those guys.
That's true.
Yeah, they're
Transfers.
rent a players.
And then,
a year.
I mean, you could do
Hank
it was
was a
like
mess.
Hank and
TG.
then Taylen Green.
Okay, back to the Taylen Green topic. And to your point, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we do with Malachi. We'll see what we do with Mad Dog, right? It's crazy, though. As good as this program has been for as long as we've been good, that we haven't had a quarterback drafted, and we've had some quarterback issues for sure. But back to that, I don't know. I think this is one of the more fascinating topics for me to follow outside of like the Super League and conference realignment stuff is how does Taylen Green, and outside of Boise State, obviously, is how does Taylen Green play at Arkansas? I just think that is super fascinating. But it's really interesting. I mean, he was named the starter before spring ball finished.
Because I was
It's like,
interested.
what? In the SEC?
But do you think that
Dude, what?
Do you think that they believe you give him as much confidence as early as you can so that he can just build on that? I mean, it didn't work for us.
My guess is that so you got to remember, Bobby Petrino is their offensive coordinator. Bobby Petrino
Isn't he the
coached.
head coach?
No.
Oh,
he's
he's not the
the offensive coordinator.
Oh, they're not willing to make
He
that move
coached. He might be next year, right? He coached. What's the NFL Baltimore Ravens?
Lamar.
Lamar.
Yeah.
He coached him at Louisville, right? But super athletic quarterback, right? Probably similar skill sets, I think. Very fast, super athletic. My guess is they're going to do what Dirk Cutter did with TG last year or 2 years ago, which is design the offense around TG's strengths.
Which is smart.
And it's just smart. If he's your starter, that's smart. And that's exactly what Bush Hamden did once Mad Dog went down. When you're forced and you say, this is my guy, you can design an offense that can be quite successful around his strengths. Now, I think what happened, whether it was Andy or Bush or whoever, or Taylen's family trying to say, hey, we need to develop him more like a NFL quarterback, whoever, they tried to fit Taylen Green into Bush Hamden's offense, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
And he missed 8-yard outs over their heads a lot.
I understand all that stuff.
Go ahead.
Okay, my point is this.
What's it?
What happens when you're in a situation that calls for more than that package?
Third down quarterback.
Third and long.
Third down
You're
quarterback.
trailing by 14.
Every other.
I'm just saying, like, you get put in these situations, especially in a difficult conference, where it's like, hey, the game isn't following the game plan, and now we need to have some more advanced throws and some advanced coverages with guys that are fast in the SEC. How are you going to do that? Because he was missing guys. I mean, legit missing guys, missing reads, and that was what was frustrating the coaches so much.
I don't
Why-
disagree.
why
That's
would
why
that
it's so
change?
fast. That's why it's going to be so fascinating to
Because
see.
I was
Can-
interested in seeing how Hank was going to do. That interest died down pretty quick. Going
He was
to
at La Tech. Now he's
but
at
this
Wake
one
Forest.
is like
This is super fascinating.
SEC competitive team.
It's just crazy to me that he was named. Like, what does that mean? Did they have no one else?
Dude,
He was named the starter
I
in
know.
3 weeks.
Why do you do that though? Do you have to do it so soon? Announce a
You
starter?
don't. I don't.
and you know what's funny?
He got
too
the
is-
NIL deal coming in. Like, they love him
But
over
look
there.
but all these big programs are doing that. USC, Oregon, Oklahoma, they get these guys that transfer in and they make them the starter, and then those guys do really well, and all these super high profile quarterbacks get the shaft every year. Like, look at USC. Like, they had Caleb Williams join. Look at Oregon. You don't think that there's 4 guys that they're being developed behind them from high school that are like, WTF, dude? Like, I'm getting screwed over by
how
all
did-
these transfer ins.
No, I agree. But Taylen, the guy that got benched for 5'9" Mad Dog.
7.
He's not 5'7". Get off yourself.
I mean, but he, in less than 3 weeks, it's just crazy to me, man. He obviously showed him something they think they can work with, man.
What did he show him? Because what they showed us, 3 passes they showed us was
no, like we were
something.
We were ready for something different.
To clarify to you, not that we're bad. We all love Taylen, right?
Yeah,
I mean, we are hoping he does well.
Yeah.
Yes.
He had his deficiencies here that led to some issues, but we are excited. I think I'm super fascinated by it. I hope he does well, and I feel better knowing that the guys that were responsible for that debacle are no longer here.
both of them.
Even if he does really well, then we can just blame Bush.
Like, they're gone. Those people no longer work here.
Yes, seriously. Although if Bush and Avalos were still here, let's just say they were still here, Taylen leaves. He kills it there. Do you know how pissed people would be at them?
I'd be pissed.
So pissed.
Yes.
I would be pissed too.
I'd be pissed. Because obviously they're not good coaches.
What are the chances? Yeah. What are the chances that he's their starter the entire year if he's healthy? What do you think? 50-50?
Really good.
Why not?
Taylor?
Yeah. He's in the spring. They haven't even played yet.
Pulling a starter.
Saying, do you think he's going to
will he maintain starting?
Will he maintain?
Pulling a starter is a quarterback is a death sentence for your season.
Yeah.
So he will start until they're absolutely out of contention.
That's a good point. Yeah. It is a death sentence.
And if they can do that, where they formulate the offense around him, kind of like Dirk did,
I think he can be successful.
I think it could work.
Until they need to go outside of that develop.
We'll see. Dude, if he's running like massive touchdown runs and big bombs over the top against the SEC,
which he could, because
be like, what? He will. He'll have some highlight plays for sure. Now, are they going to be 6-6 like they are every year? Or are they going to do something different? We'll see.
Hey, a couple other names that have been mentioned in spring ball. Latrell Caples. We excited about that?
Excited to see him back. I think we forgot about. I think I kind of forgot about him. I don't think he ever got like a ton of notoriety. I don't think he's not a local. Like, I don't know. Some of these other guys like get more attention. But the last year he played, he was a top receiver. He was super dependable. He was kind of a slot guy, I think. I mean, to have him back's huge.
And then Amarion McCoy.
Is he the transfer in?
No,
he's the corner.
Yeah,
he's the corner. He ended up. He's a JC transfer.
Wasn't his uncle that brought a snake to the game or something?
Dude, we need his uncle on the show.
Whoever it is, his relative.
Yes, his uncle.
I would have him on the show. I don't want him to bring a snake though.
Snake to the
Dude,
game.
he brought. It's like his emotional support.
I remember that, dude. It's like dancing. It's like dancing
He
in
like
the
pulls it
stands
out of
with
his
his
back
snake.
pocket and was like, "Hey, I got this snake." I
Like,
don't know why.
How did he get him in the game?
But why?
Put it
I
in his
love
pocket.
how Caples is on the sideline. Hey guys, check out my uncle. He's up there.
No,
He's like,
not
McCoy.
Caples.
oh, McCoy. He's like,
Yeah.
hey guys, that's my uncle. It's like snake dancing.
He brought his snake again. We're like, yeah,
Character.
we know who that is.
I just
that's funny.
Our offense has been so inconsistent the last like 4 or 5 years that what I want to see is some consistency out of because we just get hyper focused on one thing, one aspect that works, and it was EMAC or it's Genty or it was some of these guys that end up doing well. We just feed them the ball. I mean,
Too
you know
much
who I
Shaq.
feel.
Remember when it was just
absolutely.
Shaq? Hank would just throw it to Shaq no matter what.
And if I was Hank, that's all I'd throw to.
but it just doesn't. It's not. It's good enough to
It's
be
a
8-4.
failing-
It's not good enough to go 11-1.
And
That's how it is.
who I feel really bad for, and we actually talk about this quite a bit. It was under Harsin, the running back, who was an amazing running back. Do you remember?
Ajayi?
No, not Ajayi.
Madison?
Yeah, Alexander Madison. Because
Just getting his head banged.
dude, we left him in when he was just like seeing stars, playing with
Harson's
snakes.
like, "Get out
Harson's like, you're fine. Go win us the Mountain West Championship. And the guy's like running the wrong way. And we're like, oh, crap, dude. But it's like we just get, pigeonholed into these just using what works. And we only do that. And I just feel like this is finally the time. And I felt like the prior offensive coordinator, who shall not be named, was starting to get over that. But I feel
spread
like
it around a little bit.
Dirk is the guy to do that.
Spread it.
Get it to all of the guys. Everybody should have a touch. Like there should be 10 or 11 guys that get the ball in a game.
I think there will be, because I think
That's not common though.
that's not.
common.
But I think we have listening, like the two transfer receivers haven't even played yet because they're both coming off injuries. And so you're getting guys like Prince, Bolt, Latrell getting a ton of reps. And come fall camp, you're going to get these two guys that potentially could be starters that haven't even been playing. So I feel really good about the depth. I feel really good about the tight ends, really, really good about the receivers. And, we're going to need a running back too. You cannot. I mean, Genty could get hurt week 1. I mean, you don't know. Running backs
Polani did.
I mean, he did last year too. Genty was out a couple games. So we need a running back too, and it sounds like we might have a few.
I'm excited because of the following. Okay. Let's say some of the teams coming up and they're going to say, hey, you got to take away Genty. Okay. I mean, we'll throw a 5-yard out to Lautner. We'll throw, short passes to the receivers. And then let's say, okay, let's back up our team. Genty gets going, and then you bring him forward. And then I honestly think Bolt or Strawn, with how fast they are, if you could get a deep ball, like if Malachi or whoever's in there can throw the deep ball down the sideline, those guys are going to catch them and go big. And then if you have your mainstay guys that need to make big catches and big moments, I'm just saying,
offense should be really good.
It should be really good because you said we have the speed to get behind them. We have the run it down your throat guy with Genty. We have big play Genty, honestly. And then you have tight ends and a line that can keep them. And there's only one question, dude.
and back to that question, maybe it is. And when you say it all like that, maybe it is the game man, the guy that doesn't turn it over.
Exactly.
And just
That's
get
what I'm
it
saying.
to the weapons, get it to Genty, run.
If
that's probably a good point. Now that you're talking about it,
okay, but I'm just saying
maybe that's Mad Dog. I don't know.
Minor?
Point for Minor.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I'll give you the point. I like it.
Who was gosh, why can't I think of his name? The Arkansas quarterback. Why can't I think of his name? Who just transferred?
Oh, Jefferson.
No,
it just left.
The Arkansas quarterback that just transferred, Taylen Green. I'm sorry that I forgot his name. I'm sorry I forgot his name.
You forgot Taylen's name?
Come on, bro. How did you know the guy
Respect on his name
transferred away? Anyway, if he could have thrown the basic passes, we probably would have been fine.
Yeah.
But he missed really, really basic passes. So that's what I'm saying is if whoever comes in can make basic passes and then the guys just start having confidence and catching the ball.
Spread it around. Make the basic passes.
Would have been fine. Can we talk about the Super Conference?
Yeah. Go ahead.
The way it's happening right now, I just want to say.
Super League.
So, the Super League.
Transition here. Tell people what we're talking about.
Okay, so there was there's
a couple articles.
There was an idea floated out there that you make a Super League, which we all feel like is going to happen at some point anyway with the SEC and the Big Ten, and you bring on. So there's a Super League, there's some regional, and then there's like a G5, a group of 5 league.
Because there was 70 teams that were locked.
With relegation, which gets me going, hot. Really hot.
Bush used to do it, now it's relegation.
When they put in relegation, it went NSFW for me. And I was like, yes, Mallory, read this to me. But anyway, so there's that, right? But then people shot it down. But anyway, people shot it down, which I get. Here's what I think is stupid, okay? The Big Ten has how many teams? 35?
Not
15?
20,
18?
20,
the Big Ten,
something like that.
Yeah. The SEC has 105.
Yeah,
what is it?
Something like
18.
that.
It will not stay this way. I guarantee you it won't stay this way. There's no way Oregon going to play Rutgers is going to keep happening. They're going to change it. It's going to change. And they're not going to go back. They're not going to, corral the old Pac-12. Hey, guys, want to get back together? That's done, right? But I promise you that it won't stay this way for forever. I promise you this is just the intermediate stage. So something different is going to happen.
I agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
And the only way to go is the Super League.
Yeah,
that's the only way to go.
So, okay. So with this Super League talk, right? For those that didn't read it, So there's always been this fear that the Big Ten and the SEC are going to break away and do their own thing, right? Then this article comes out this week that it'll be 80 teams, basically the Power 4 teams plus 10 teams that go up
Notre
and back.
Dame,
love it,
right?
No,
they said some schools that weren't affiliated with conferences.
But then the last division was the 10, like the Boise State, Fresno, whoever is the top 10 of the group of 5. Yeah. But those can fluctuate depending on how they do, right? Okay,
I love that.
It'll never happen.
No.
It'll never happen. And anyone...
They said they pitched it to some conference, and then there were
the
two
ACC
others.
The ACC listened to it. The other 3 didn't even listen.
They're like, we don't want to hear it.
They didn't want to hear it.
But the conference commissioners are a bunch of
They're horrible. They're the worst.
Stupid. They're
the worst.
They don't
worst.
do
but
anything.
Here's the thing. Yeah. So the ACC and the Big 12 should be all over it. All over it. Because what's happening right now is that their best teams are trying any way they can to get in the Big 10 or the SEC. So the only way they survive at any level is to somehow get a Super League going like this.
Yeah.
It'll never happen.
But the thing is, here's why it will happen.
It won't happen. Let me tell you why it won't happen. It's the same reason why this new playoff thing, I'm
going to mute you.
It's the same reason why the new playoff, they just established it, and everyone's getting crumbs, and the Big 10 and the SEC are getting double, triple, and 20 times what we're going to get for the new playoff. Because the Big 10 and the SEC are in charge. Why? Why in the world would they ever go for this?
I'll tell you.
It's not lawsuits.
I will tell you.
It's not lawsuits.
Yeah, I'm not going that way.
Okay.
I'll tell you exactly why.
They would never share.
I want to say something.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Here's why. The main power brokers are the actual schools. And the power brokers of the schools that are at the very top, they are like, look, we will always be at the top. And giving crumbs to 10 G5 teams is okay with me because I'm never at the point where I'm going to do it. No. So their vote will outflank Indiana and whoever the hell else there is, Iowa State, that they don't care, that could get relegated. The top 15 teams, the Texases, the Oklahomas, the Iowa States, the Michigans, they don't care about relegation because they will never be a part of it.
Hold on. And so this thing that we're talking about,
they're the ones that are going to make the decision to go to the Super League.
But why would the Big 10 and the SEC, why would they ever do this?
I'm not saying the conference in general. I'm saying the power brokers.
Those teams, Indiana, why would they ever do it?
Because I don't think they're going to be the ones that are going to make the decision. They could,
but why would Ohio State do it?
Because they're
talking about collectively bargaining for 80 schools, knowing that the bottom 40 schools bring in this much money and they bring in this much money. Why would they split? Everything that we've seen in the last 10 years tells us that the Big 10 and SEC are going to do what's best for them and their finances. So why in the world would they ever say, oh yeah, we're going to give it UCF instead of this much to be part of it? They would never do it.
Can I tell you?
Try. It ain't going to work, dude. Try.
Okay, let me just paint a scenario.
I would love it, but it's not happening.
Okay, stop.
Bob Ross.
Go ahead.
Paint your picture.
Let me just paint the scenario of the following, okay?
Okay.
That conferences as you know them will start to lose power amongst their individual teams.
Do you think they will dissolve conferences?
I'm just saying, like, teams are going to have more power than the actual conference because the conference at this point are the top 3 or 4 teams.
Okay. Fine.
Okay? And they're going to be the power brokers, okay? And then TV money.
So like Alabama is the
Alabama, Georgia, and those are like
not Vandy.
Not Vandy. Those are the teams that actually make the decisions, okay? And they're the ones at the table. They're in the room, okay? What I'm saying is TV money, advertisers are going to actually negotiate with those. I'm just saying it's an opportunity.
Okay.
That if TV starts saying, screw the whole conference, there's 100,000 teams, I'm going to go to the best teams, I'm going to negotiate directly with them. Okay. So they're going to get the benefit of the contract anyway. And then as teams start saying, oh, we're losing power, let's super league it up with an option of relegation. And I know you think about and you get really horny thinking about how nothing will change.
That's the correct word.
No, a lot's changing. I'll tell you what's going to change. There will be
Wasn't he getting horny earlier?
Yeah, there's a lot of horniness going on around here, okay? It's
Mark and I are on the phone tonight and be like,
stop right now.
Relegation. And I'm like, okay.
Stop.
Just
okay.
Say it again, but in a different voice.
With an accent.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, you're right. Things are not going to stay the same. And it is transitionary right now. Here's what's going to happen, in my opinion, or something similar to this. There will be a Super League, but it is just going to be the Big 10 and the SEC.
We'll get left out.
And the top of the ACC, and maybe, I don't know if anything is left in the Big 12.
You keep talking conferences, though.
I know. What I'm saying is there will be some sort of Super League with the most profitable, and they're going to come into one. I just don't believe it's going to be 70 or 80 teams. I think it's going to be 30 to 40. And then the rest of college football, the rest of the Big 12, the rest of the ACC that gets left out, and the G5 are going to come together and they'll create something that we're talking about, where there's some sort of regionality to it, and then there will be relegation and whatnot. That's what I think is going to happen. I think there's going to be like a pro, and because those guys are going to be able to afford all these lawsuits that are happening and paying the players, whatever. That's my opinion. I mean, just reading a lot of things, and I would love this. This proposal that was put out would be so awesome. But what in our 15 years of all this realignment crap has ever gone great for us?
No, it never has.
It never has, and it's not going to.
You don't know that.
So we just need to be in the best position possible to get into the next group, whatever that is, with the Oklahoma States, with the BYUs, with the Oregon States, Washington State, whatever. That second tier, that's what we need to aim. I mean, aim for the stars, but we will need to get to that level, which we're not in right now. It's basically the Big 12 level, right? I think that's my opinion.
The thing that all the realignment has taught us is you have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not going to say I know, but I'm just the one thing I feel like I know pretty strongly is that the SEC and the Big Ten are not going to do something just as like. Did I say something stupid? They're not going to do something just for the betterment of the sport, because they've shown us time and time again they're willing to destroy the freaking Pac-12 that was 108 years old for a couple extra bucks. It's just not going to happen. I hate to say that. So we got to position ourselves to be in whatever's next. And quite frankly, I don't care if 10 years from now, because there are these TV deals, and we do know that the college football playoff is locked in for like until 2030 or 2032. So this is the time right now to like win games, get in the playoff, win one or two of those games, and to, we'll talk about the stadium here in a second, like grow the stadium, grow the fan base, get more NIL, everything to position ourselves to be in that next group.
Rehire Kurt Apsey.
Oh, gosh. Let's have Kurt Apsey on the show.
Why did you
and
say
just
that?
like throw tomatoes at him.
Let's transition. There's some news coming out of the basketball world. Boise State basketball. There's a couple transfers that have announced that they are leaving. First one.
Super sad about Kobe
Young. We've also got Jace Whiting.
Yep.
And Cade Rice.
Yeah.
Walk on. Cade's a walk-on.
Coach's kid.
He doesn't have a scholarship?
No,
well, he probably gets free.
He probably does, and his dad's making $1 million a year, so not worried about the finance. But he wants to play.
He probably gets free. He probably gets free.
Probably
education.
Tuition.
Yeah. Super sad about Kobe Young.
Yeah, and I get it. Because we all figured. I mean, he's super athletic. I actually thought that tournament game we played better with him in, but the team just we weren't.
I think it's a tough spot for him to be in because he just hasn't the continuity of it.
I know, and that's exactly right.
So he did his best. It wasn't great.
And he did better than...
I don't think he did as bad as other people.
Yeah.
Right? So that was kind of the measuring stick was don't be bad. And it's just tough when you don't play a ton.
I think that was tough because Max Rice, I think Max Rice was a great player. I really liked him. But very inconsistent this year.
Yep.
And
didn't like that 3 late in the game.
That was tough. And the thing is he was inconsistent when... he was a lot. He meant a lot to this team, so they played him a lot. 38 minutes probably was his average. When I was hopeful that Kobe could have gotten 10 minutes or so a game, and I don't know, Jace, he was a good player, but at the same time his impact on the game was almost non-existent on most every single game. I mean, he brought the ball down the court, and that's basically it. I mean. Scoring-wise, he averaged a couple points.
Yeah, because I think when you have guys where the expectation is don't screw up. Just don't do bad.
Let
don't
the starter
turn it over.
Rest a few minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then they're and I like all these guys that are transferring out. So, but they're basically interchangeable with another guy of Division I level that could come and do the same thing.
Yeah,
right.
And I think our guard play, because we have great forwards, especially if Abo comes back. So then we have Deggy, Abo, and
dude.
By
the way, think about that.
We should talk about Deggy.
Well, my wife sends me a picture.
Yeah.
Can we cue that picture on YouTube? Like when you post this, can you throw it up there or no?
Yeah, I can. She sends me a picture.
Tell us about this picture your wife sent you again.
Well, she's at Lululemon. She works there. Deggy rolls in, and she gets a picture with him and sends it to me.
And it was like they were close.
Well,
they were close.
They were close.
Closer.
Yeah, I mean, it's like your wife. By the way, your wife.
She's so short. She's what, 5'1"?
She's 5'1".
She nestles in real nice.
I feel threatened a little bit.
I think the thing is, she likes taller men.
Yeah.
She does. You're
It's obvious.
6'6".
Matt's
You're what, 6'6"?
6'5".
That's 6'5". Deggy's the better you. Younger, taller, more successful. I mean, let's just be honest.
I mean, he can shoot better than me.
He's got a donut deal, dude.
He has a Deggy dozen.
He does.
And I don't.
You don't have a dozen. You have very little compared to Deggy. And so when you sent that picture, it was like, there's a legitimate chance here.
I had the same
The younger, better looking, taller
Gone.
Matt Lamb.
What was he doing in Lululemon? That's the first question I had.
Do they have anything?
You don't know any Lululemon stuff?
Me, actually, I guess I do.
Well, you
Okay.
do.
Sweats, that's
You
right.
do.
I
course
just think
I
a
do.
girl. I just think a girl. Yeah, I do. I have a couple pants. That's right.
Yeah.
I do.
Mark.
Sorry.
I'm excited.
They're
Can we go
nice.
back to basketball? When
We're still on basketball. You were thinking of some names about
Omar.
Albo and
yeah.
if we were able to get a guard similar to the ability of Roddy,
We need a shooter.
I think we're going for a shooting guard for sure. We need a shooting guard bad. But if we were able to get a guard with the 3 people that left, we
will.
could get a shooter and a guard.
Yeah.
So a 1-2 punch with Roddy and that guard, I think that'd be great. Anyway, and then we have the guy from the Netherlands
yeah.
that could be better than
and
could have
Chris
started.
Lockett.
Lockett.
I think we should be pretty good. It's tough though, man. You had 13 scholarships, and so 13 scholarships, not counting the walk-ons. We know this team. There's only 8 that are going to be playing any sort of minutes. You know what I mean? So they're going to bring in guys. So what that means is the interesting thing about we lose a couple guys. The last few years, they transfers out. We bring in some guys. This last year hit on Roddy for the most part. Hit on Omar. Hit on Cam. I mean, he was injured.
He was injured, yeah.
The
He had
interesting
surgery,
thing to me
right
was
after.
that so they basically recruited over certain guys. Jace, they recruited over Jace, right? They were looking for a starting point guard. They recruited Roddy. They recruited over Mo Silla and whoever we had on the bench. One guy they never recruited over,
Max Rice.
Max Rice. So the interesting thing about that
That's
was
true.
that
I never thought about
no,
that.
think about it. He had a sophomore. I don't know if you remember, but a couple years ago, his sophomore year was like very so-so. Okay. And if it was today and it was not Max Rice, that sophomore year, you wouldn't have expected that player to be the starter the next year. We went into his junior year thinking like, dude, Max Rice is going to be a starter? Really? Ugh. And then that was his best year. He ended up playing well.
Why would you
but
recruit
he
over
never
him?
got recruited over.
But why would you
his
recruit over
stats, his freshman, sophomore year, if those
you're
were
saying
today,
those 2 years. Oh.
those 2 years, his stats, if that happened today, transfer portal and everything, I think he would have gotten recruited over. If he wasn't hard to say. I don't think Leon was, whatever the right word is for that, favoring his son necessarily. But he never got recruited over. A lot of guys did. He didn't. He ended up being a really good his junior year, so his senior year. But but what I'm getting at is like RJ Keene. We like RJ. We're talking about bringing in a shooter, whatever. Isn't RJ supposed to be the shooter? The right-handed, more athletic Justinian Jessup.
I think he can shoot.
Was he?
Like, if you're bringing in he's supposed to be a shooter.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you're bringing in guards, you're recruiting over RJ,
I'm
right?
surprised RJ didn't transfer out with Kobe. I thought it would be Kobe and
Kinda.
RJ immediately.
Right? I don't know. It's interesting. It's just interesting. But, I mean, 13 scholarships, you only get to play 8 guys, right? Unless you get
You can play a lot more.
you can play
You
more,
can.
but Leon doesn't. He doesn't. We know this.
Well, Meadow's going to get playing time.
Meadow's going to get playing time.
Who else is on the bench
Meadow
now?
Meadow could start if they don't bring in.
We have like 3 forwards that are basically all league with Omar, Deggy, and Abo.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a tough
you could
lineup
bring
to
in
start over.
Meadow and then you got Roddy and Meadow right now. If we start with no transfers right now, that would be your starting 5.
Yeah.
Roddy, Meadow,
That's 4
Ogbo,
power forwards
Deggy.
and a
but
guard.
Ogbo's a 3. Deggy's the 4. Omar's he's more of a 4, but he would play 5. We need another big. We need a shooter, unless RJ's going to step up and be that shooter.
He could.
Right? I hope he does. He stuck around. I mean, I'm sure he didn't stick around for the purpose of doing what he did this year. Right? I mean,
Yep.
I don't know. Sometimes I wonder too, like how happy are guys? Like certainly you want to play, right? Sorry.
No, it's okay.
But sometimes it's like how happy is a guy just to be on scholarship, be in a place they want to be a role player.
Well,
I mean, is
Cade
anyone
wasn't.
happy with that?
Cade wasn't.
He wasn't on scholarship.
Yeah.
And he wasn't playing.
Yeah, but you can't say he wasn't on scholarship.
Okay, whatever. Well,
Totally
no.
different.
Okay. But like an RJ Keene. I mean, it's just
Yes,
I don't
I agree.
know. Is he I don't know.
Is the tinfoil hat behind you?
Sure is. I see
Grab it.
I see it.
Prepare yourselves,
Uh-oh.
folks.
Again?
There it is.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Okay.
Watch out.
Can we go back to it?
Yeah. The Pope tinfoil hat. Chef hat, maybe?
How do you make a tinfoil hat? Should it be?
I've seen them like twisted at the top.
Not like that.
I think it's good.
It looks okay. Oh.
Yeah, that's more like what I've seen. Yes.
Well, this doesn't make sense. It's like beamed into my head.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Taylen Clark conspiracy
The game's going on right now.
right now.
Yeah.
It is going on right
Do you have a game score update?
Oh, yeah.
Was Taylen Clark ever going to lose that Final Four battle?
No. No way. I saw Clay Travis tweet out,
Yeah.
like, put all your money on
And he's
Iowa. There's
right.
no way they're going to lose.
And he's
then
so
all of a sudden,
right.
yeah, I don't know if we want to talk about
A
that.
phantom offensive call.
I will say
Give me a
this
break.
about that. I mean, by the time people hear this, the championship would have already happened.
It's 24-20. Iowa's up.
I was up. Okay.
So it doesn't matter
Almost
who wins
into
this
the
game.
first quarter.
it does.
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
No,
you
it
mean
doesn't.
ratings-wise?
Ratings-wise.
Yeah, no.
'Cause
They
ESPN's
wanted.
South Carolina's undefeated.
They're undefeated.
Yeah, they're a good team.
They wanted Iowa, South Carolina the entire time, and that the game broadcast didn't show the angle that now we see on Twitter that it's you see the guy
Still,
move
you
over.
don't call.
You don't call it 100%. You don't call it, and I've talked to a couple people that
What?
you don't make that. You do not make that call
You
in that
don't.
situation. No way.
Except for the fact if you're looking to make a call, give me a break. That ref was totally looking to make the
100%,
call.
100%. So is that ref going to get paid on
bonus?
the table? No. Will he get seriously? Will he get preferential treatment next year when he signs up for
Absolutely.
games? Absolutely. Is he going to get to dude? Yes.
Yes.
He got the biggest pat on the back you can ever give a
Yeah,
ref.
he may get upgraded to like
100%.
NBA.
Do you know how much
ESPN
financially what that changes for today's
A
game
lot.
that Iowa's playing in? Oh, there's no way they were going to lose that game.
Especially because who has ESPN?
Yeah.
ESPN could take another 48 hours of running Taylen Clark.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever
Oh,
promotional stuff versus nobody cares about anybody else. Here's an
No.
interesting question. Name the most popular
Can't.
college. Yes, you can. The most
Okay.
popular college women's basketball players of all time that you can remember.
Her.
Take
I mean,
her out.
going way back in the day.
Go as far back
We got
as you
Lobo.
want.
Rebecca Lobo.
Rebecca Lobo.
I don't remember her.
Yeah.
She
big,
went to UConn.
big
Okay,
girl
but-
at UConn.
Okay, Diana Taurasi.
I don't know where'd she go.
You don't know
Where
Diana
did- I know
Taurasi.
she did. Where did she go to
I don't know
school?
where she went to
UConn.
school. UConn.
She went to UConn.
Candace Parker.
Okay, Tennessee.
Brittany Griner.
Baylor.
Okay, I'm
and then
just
there was a
saying.
girl at Oregon that graduated a couple years ago.
I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying those girls, especially the UConn girls that went on like a 4-year undefeated streak, essentially,
Yeah.
didn't bring as much popularity.
Not
Why?
even close.
Why Taylen Clark? And this isn't
Because
a
she shoots the
conspiracy.
deep three.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's why I think women's basketball could get better at a 4-point zone and shoot your lights out.
4-point zone,
Yes.
dude.
In the
but
WNBA.
she's doing some. Oh, in the WNBA.
That's how you can make, because
At a 4-pointer.
I'm way more
4-point line.
interested in seeing good shooting than I am, drive into the hoop doing a layup. Even if it was dunking, even if they lowered the hoop,
She's
I'm
just-
not interested in dunking
She's fun to watch. She's
because
fun to
she
watch.
can shoot.
And I
But
think
I-
if they lowered it, no offense to the women, I just don't think the dunks are going to be that great.
No, shoot it up.
Yeah.
No.
That's
Shoot
why
it.
I think they could improve the women's game by having more exciting shooting opportunities.
I'm more fascinated to see what she does going forward after this. Just like
She's got a lot of offers to do a lot of
yeah,
things.
like the 3-on-3. She'll never do any of that. She'll never do any of that.
No.
Hey, you played college basketball.
At a high level, yeah.
Division
Junior college, whatever. Yeah.
Could you beat Taylen Clark in a one-on-one game?
I don't. At my
Right now.
peak?
Right now.
Oh,
No, right
way.
now.
Right now, no way.
Really?
I don't even play, dude. What are you talking about? No way.
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I would be fascinated to see how she would stack up against
An average man.
junior. No, an average. She would dominate an average man because making a basket with someone guarding you is not easy. I don't care. You know what I mean? I would be fascinated to see how she would stack up against a junior college team. I really would. And I hate to, but like,
Yeah.
but at that level, I will be honest. Matt could have played at that level too. That was really good basketball. I mean, it was good player. There's a lot of good players that play at that level. But
Could Owyhee High School beat Iowa College?
I have no idea because this happened. We know this happened in women's soccer, right? They lost multiple times, like to the U15 Dallas team or whatever. So it's so hard. I'd love to know. I don't know. I'm not gonna. I don't know. She would, but she's not. I'm fascinated to see.
Matt, I want to see you on the record because we had a lengthy debate.
Me right now, no. She would dominate me. She would dominate
One-on-one.
any one of us.
Make it, take it.
Yeah,
You.
she would dominate me.
She would dominate Matt. 6'5".
Matt plays right now. No. Matt's in shape and Matt's playing right now.
I'm not quick though. That's the thing.
Okay.
See,
and she can drive.
I think she could step back and shoot on guys that are 40 years old and not in great shape. I think she could. I'm just more fascinated. I mean, guys and girls are different, let's be honest, but she's amazing. She's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm more fascinated to see what happens in the WNBA. Like, because you see it online, you see it in these interviews. These women are super jealous of her. They really are. All the attention she's getting, she made reportedly $3 million. The starting salary for a WNBA NBA player, first round pick, $75K.
You know who's angry right now?
$75K.
$75K. They're all super jealous, and it's like, but I'm fascinated to see one, how she does at the WNBA level, but two, does the popularity she has right now.
Yeah.
Does it translate at all?
Well,
because to this point, no one cares about WNBA. No one watches it. Whereas right now, the women's game is getting crazy good ratings.
It would be, I think the popularity would continue if she was scoring 40 a game
and
from
hitting deep
which
threes.
she won't early. I don't think.
Okay,
I don't think she
because
will. Because I think they're going to gang up on her and she's going to get beat
But
up.
that's how Steph got all his popularity, hitting the deep three, right? He changed the game. And it's similar to the home run race of baseball. People hitting home runs, like that's fun to watch. People shooting deep threes.
I agree.
It's fun to watch. If you're not doing that, it's like this.
Do you know
isn't
what
that cool of a
percentage she
product.
shoots? Do you know what 3-point percentage she shoots?
Not great.
It's not great. It's like 38%,
It
which
doesn't
isn't
matter.
bad.
38.
But it's not.
Yeah.
3-point shooter, good 3-point shooter is 40% and above. Okay. She's below it.
Yeah, but she scores a
38,
lot.
But and she gets. I mean, the defense on her is crazy, right?
Okay, but if you're the WNBA, you're like, don't guard her like that.
Just sag off.
Yeah.
Give her some space.
The reality, it's like Tiger Woods, man. He came in. Not that anyone didn't, but he came in and he elevated salaries and purses for everyone.
Yeah.
And if she comes in and just gets bogged down and scores 10 a game, they lose on all that. So if they let
who's mad?
her, but they won't. I mean, as competitors, I can't see them doing that. But it would help all of them financially if she comes in the WNBA and dominates.
I would be upset if I was this person. Candace Parker.
Why?
In college, she was the most popular college female player easily.
I don't even remember her.
Are
Like I
you
know who
serious?
she is now.
At Tennessee?
She was I know who
At
she
Tennessee,
is now.
I think she could have had just as much sponsorship opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
And then she went to the WNBA early. She left college early to go to the WNBA and made, probably okay money, whatever. But she could have made buco bucks. She was way more popular in college than she was in the NBA, WNBA.
That's what I'm saying. They all are.
And that's why if I was her, I'd be so mad that NIL didn't exist when I was there because she
you
would
can say that about a lot of people.
I know. I just like
Kellen Moore?
Tebow.
Yeah.
And Kellen Moore.
Fascinating. Hey, we're talking. But
Women's basketball.
That's what I'm saying. Caitlin, like we would never talk women's basketball.
I want to continue.
Good for her.
With women's basketball.
What?
Yeah.
There we go.
Can I get political?
Oh gosh. No. Okay.
Please?
Okay.
Yes.
Is this the Twitter withdrawals you're feeling? The lack of politics on Twitter?
Yes, I want to bring it into the
Okay.
sports arena.
Okay.
The Elite Eight. LSU versus Iowa.
The rematch.
The rematch with Angel Reese or whatever and Ken Clark. LSU wasn't during the. Did you see this? They didn't participate in the national anthem.
Yeah.
Saw that.
And Iowa did.
Yep.
And apparently a number of others, like I don't believe UConn, also in the Elite Eight, listened to the national anthem. Why is that? Or was that a big deal to you?
Okay. Standing there and kneeling was a big deal to me. Okay.
Standing there and kneeling?
Sorry. Being on the court and kneeling.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what Iowa did. They kneel. They knelt.
No.
They didn't.
Iowa did.
You remember a couple years ago, the kneeling and all that stuff, okay?
Yeah.
Supposedly, I don't follow LSU basketball. I don't know. Their coach came out and said, we have a pregame thing. We go back. And a lot of teams do this. They warm up, then they go back to the gym, then they come out. Typically, teams are out there in basketball for the national anthem. Supposedly, this happens a lot.
So they're not protesting.
I don't think it was a protest. They didn't say it was a protest.
Because the governor of Louisiana.
I saw that.
The governor of Louisiana came out and said he is trying to pass a state mandate that if you get public tuition, like their tax money goes to the tuition of some of these schools, and they say if you get scholarship money from the taxpayers, you have to at least participate however you want. You could protest or not in the national anthem, which I thought was really interesting.
What do you think?
It affects me.
Disagree?
It does. It does affect me. Like I really am sensitive to that.
What? Do you want me to tell you my opinion or you?
No, I just number one, are they protesting? Are they protesting or not? Because if they're protesting, I want to know what they're protesting about. I guess I didn't know.
It's not a very good protest if no one knows that they're protesting or not.
So that's why I think, maybe it wasn't protest, maybe it was. But if it was, why don't, like, if you're a player, why don't you be like, hey, I want to come out and be a part of it. Like, I don't want to just sit inside when I could be in there.
They feel like they're being treated unfairly, or there's some injustice there.
But some players could feel that way. But other players could be like, I want to be a part of national anthem. Because I want to be part of this country and support what I think is giving me an incredible opportunity. Like, you don't see a lot of women's basketball players in other countries that are having the success that they're having. So, like,
yeah, I thought it was fascinating. I can see the whole, like, hey, you're getting public money, therefore we feel like you should. I don't agree with. I'm fine in this. If we're going, I'm fine in this country that people have the ability and the right to protest.
Okay, right.
I never loved personally the kneeling and all this stuff and protesting the flag. I never loved that as a sign, as a way to protest. But these athletes, if that's the way they feel, they can best do it. But in this point, I just don't feel like they said anything. So I don't know what they were trying to do.
If you're protesting, what
are
you
know what you're protesting?
Do
you think
what they're doing?
This question. So we had kneeling. I mean, obviously, Colin Kaepernick was a big proponent of the kneeling.
Sure.
We have slogans being printed on football in the end zone. Mm-hmm. It takes everyone, or all these like
and racism. Some of those types of things. Yeah.
What effect have those things had
on
just on society?
What
and
difference
at large?
have they made?
I think some of it's virtue signaling, right? Mm-hmm. Because I actually think, and we're getting deep here, but I actually think racism, as it's framed in the media, isn't like it is. I don't think in reality it is that way. It's totally inflated, in my opinion. And so, but I think you can virtue signal a lot by saying end racism, end this and that. I don't think some of the stuff is as bad as people say, but I'm just going off of what I hear and what I listen to, and so I get it. And I also understand. Look, you can obviously protest. Okay, but if you're protesting, what are you protesting? Tell me. And number two, I mean, I guess I'm just getting more and more serious. Like, this country is so incredible, and we all dislike portions of it, right? How corrupt the leaders are, or how problems that these are having in the two-party system and this and that. But it's like, I appreciate the opportunities that it affords that everybody's clamoring for. Like, DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. It's like, we're giving the opportunity to have those. Like, you have the opportunity to do this. It rubs you the wrong way.
Would you prefer, if somebody were to protest, like an athlete, that they go start a rally? So something that's not using like TV
that platform,
or inside of an arena to do it, to say like, hey, go do it.
Public or high school or colleges, you represent a public institution. In most cases, there's the private universities, but for the most part, a lot of these are public colleges that receive public funding. And so to put your name, put that protest behind that image, I think the universities could come out and say, no, that's not, you're not representing our institution, our public institution that way. So I get that part. I also understand, use your platform, do it. Like, use your platform to protest. I have no problem with that. But it irks me when people don't participate in, number one, in the national anthem, and number two, if you disrespect it, I guess, that much, then I don't know that necessarily you understand what you're given, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not going to necessarily disagree. I will say this: we're three white guys in Idaho. Now, granted, we've all lived outside of the country.
Small sample size.
So we have a different experience than a lot of other people. So I'm never going to say, like, there's not racism. It's not as bad as we think or whatever. I do think, to your point, that the race baiting is a real thing. I think the media fans that storm a lot, but racism does exist. People, it's a tough. We weren't really prepared to go on this topic, but it's a really interesting conversation. I think it's a really good conversation, and I would just say, it's a tough one. The interesting thing about all that in the last several years is that it does seem like racial tensions have increased, and I'm not really sure why.
I can tell you why. for my opinion.
Yeah, just because, I mean, we're not that far removed from, Barack Obama being president, all these types of things. But for some reason, now, whether or not that is true, whether it actually is more racism, that's the question I have.
Yeah.
Because I've never understood racism, like why you would look at someone's skin, and I don't get that.
Yeah.
But I understand that, especially being in the majority party, I understand why minorities, there is racism, there has been racism historically. So I don't want to put myself in their shoes, right? But I hate that it exists, but I don't understand why it feels like it's been perpetuated or worsened in the last
it's certainly spiked
years.
since 2012.
Which is unfortunate. Since 2012.
Yeah.
So since Barack Obama?
Social media.
Since social media.
Yeah. Can I add on to it? Mark sent this over.
An addendum.
Mark sent this over about this gentleman on X that is offering after the
This
NC
is not
State.
race. This is not.
No, it's not
This is a
racism at all. Yeah, it's a
topic.
different topic.
And just to finish with that, like we didn't necessarily prepare. It's a really good conversation we just
No, I
had,
think
and something that we can get, and give us your thoughts, and we'll have more. I don't know. We're not perfect. We don't know. Yeah, no.
I'm not embarrassed to have a conversation about it.
I don't think so.
I don't think.
Nor should we
anybody is.
be.
Whatever. NC State coach, women's coach, said
We're definitely prepared for this one.
I just thought this one was interesting because the NC State coach was like, "Look, if you're a woman, you should play, right?
If you identify as a woman,
That's what you
consider
said.
yourself a woman.
Consider yourself a woman. You should be able to play with women.
Yes." Which is such an odd response going into the Final Four, going to the championship game. It's so funny that the reporter even asked it. It's so stupid.
That's when I say next question.
That's
exactly.
And the Iowa coach did.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good comment. We probably don't have time to go into that one today.
Yeah.
I actually really have good opinions on that, and I would love to have that conversation.
Yeah.
And but I think it takes. I think. It takes a little bit of thought to have that but that is a conversation in this country right now. That is a conversation that is happening and needs to happen. But if you're the coach of a team that's playing the next day, I understand why Outkick asked the question. That's kind of what they do.
Oh, that's who asked it?
Yeah, Outkick asked it.
Okay, I didn't know
that. You have to say what the Iowa coach said and said that. Next question, we'll talk about that after, because her response didn't, no matter what she said, you were gonna be divisive.
Yeah.
And she's actually, some people were out there saying, oh, she's just saying that to be whatever, but the reality is that the public is not on that side that she said.
Yeah.
Overwhelmingly so. And so that was interesting that she would respond that way.
Do you think anybody would take up this guy's offer to give $100,000, $20,000 per player for guys to basically transition over, play college basketball season
on a girls' team?
On a girls' team.
Because you wonder, like, how far does it have to go? Do they have to have a surgery, right? Or can they just say,
they
no,
just
I
identify.
feel...
So her words were, if you consider yourself a woman, you should be able to play with women.
And then I don't think the NCAA, so I follow Riley Gaines, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who, the NCAA.
Let's have her on the pod.
Yeah.
That would
she's
be
a little
awesome.
bigger than our, But the NCAA leaves it to the school. So some schools say if you've taken X, these sort of transition drugs or transition routine, then you can. But other schools say, screw it. If you think you're a girl or you're a guy, you can participate in that sport. And so it's school by school. And so if they go to the school and say, we're women, first of all, you have to have a school that allows that. Number two, you have to have a coach that wants to be part, because that's a political message that they're going to be dealing with. So you got to have like a lot behind it. And so I think that was so interesting to see that.
It'll be fascinating to see over the year, like how this goes. I think there's, again, this is probably a conversation for another day, but we'll see where this goes. But I will say this, that's what it might take for this to
change,
to be put. To have in sports that people actually care about.
Yeah.
Like a women's soccer player, let's say, that's the biggest women's sport right now is women's soccer, right? If all of a sudden on the U.S. women's national team, there were 2 or 3 biological males, maybe that, you know what I mean?
Dude,
or if 5 guys come on and they play for whatever school and they win the national championship. That would change.
To me, it's sad. It's sad. It's like if you were to pick a way to ruin women's sports, do this. Allow it, and it'll ruin it.
Could you imagine how fascinating it would be to see some like 6'5" guy go
it
in
would
and
be
just freaking
sad.
dominate, just
Well,
dunk
it would-
everything? That would be
But
crazy.
I think what we're seeing with Caitlin Clark is a perfect example of women playing women's sports.
Yeah, that's
And being
awesome.
Can be exciting.
Yes.
We don't need something different.
I just think how fascinating it would be to see some guy just dunking and having 40 points a night, just like throwing down hard dunks would be.
Well, you say that, but you're
crazy.
not actually for that.
No, not at all. But it's like, look, if that's what if that's what it takes to wake up,
Yeah.
I would be curious to see if somebody does that.
It's true. Like when she said that statement, it was like she stuttered.
Was
going
she deer
into
in the
it.
headlights on that one?
I
She's
guess I
never
listened to it
shied
more than
away.
I
I watched it.
and I don't know previous comments that she's made, but I listened to the comment. She was like debating whether or not she should give an answer.
Then she did.
And then she kind of tiptoed into it and was like, hey, this is what she... And I don't know if she's prepared that thought or that statement, but I'm just like, I don't think you know what you're asking for. I don't think you do. And if you got it, I think it sounds like it might be an acceptable answer, but it's going to ruin it.
Certainly pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry to bring that up. I just thought those are two big events that happened recently in
and they're
college
fascinating.
basketball, in the sports world.
Yeah.
It's 41-37. Iowa's up.
Whoa.
3 minutes
close
left in
game.
the second quarter.
Let's get home. Watch this thing.
Iowa. Have you ever watched women's college basketball final?
I think I've seen parts of it, but not with the
Without
level,
ESPN.
with the level of interest.
Without ESPN throwing it at you.
Yeah, but I mean, there's exciting stories here, right? So and they have a reason to throw it at you. So
Yeah.
I've seen it before. Like they can televise or advertise as much as they want, saying this is the women's, Final Four or championship, and you're like, well, maybe I'll take a look.
So that's cool.
But here it's like,
It's-
even on my family
are
group
watching.
text, they're saying go Iowa or all this
Yeah.
stuff. When years before, we don't even know the game's on.
Portnoy's a big social media push, and he's repping women's college basketball, which he's got how many millions of followers, and so that upticks the popularity quite a bit. So I mean, good for them. Good for women's college basketball.
I'm happy about it. I think.
And you have daughters, right? I have a daughter that plays sports. I'm all, it's fantastic.
Yep.
Just hope it's, they can keep playing and keep
'cause
having opportunities and keep having fairness and.
Yeah, and I think even how many of our guys were out there that would bag on women's sports, right? None of us. But I think this is great because there's a product here you can get excited about, and that's fun, and it's like you just want something that's interesting, and it is, and that's great. Yeah, so anyway, what do you say, gentlemen? Do we get out of here?
I think we hit most. Oh, well.
We didn't talk about the expansion stadium renovation changes.
So we'll do that next time, or
We'll hit it next time.
Boise State is going to expand.
That's our teaser
North
for
End
next
Zone.
week.
We want to talk about it. Talk about the details and what that means.
Yep. We should also kind of let our listeners know what our schedule is going to be like in the off season.
Yeah.
We're looking at going every other week. Is that?
I think so. Unless, if something big happens, right, we jump on maybe, that type of thing.
Yep. So if you're wondering, hey, this episode came out, where's the next one? Might be a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Again, subscribe, all that good stuff. Glad you stuck around through political stuff that Brandon brought on. It's always a good time. Anyway, we'll catch you next time.